welcome to today's video. So for this video I'm going to be doing a testing slash comparing video. So this is going to be of these two palettes. So this one is the Charlotte Tilbury Instant Look in a Palette 5-minute face on the go. This is the Seductive Beauty one, and this is the New Beauty Pie One Palette Wonder. So this is what the Charlotte Tilbury one looks like, and this is what the Beauty Pie one looks like. As you can see, they are very similar. They've both got a bronzer, a highlighter, 2 blushes and 3 eyeshadow shades. So yeah, I saw this one and I love the Charlotte Tilbury one, so I wanted to do a video comparing the two. I'm a massive fan of both brands, so just kind of wanted to see if there was any similarities or differences, because personally I think they look very similar, and they've both got kind of the same products in. If you want to see my impressions and my opinions of it and how they apply to the skin and how they compare, then please keep on watching. Right, okay, so first I'm just going to do my normal makeup routine until I get to the palettes. So I'm going to start off just with the MAC Strobe Cream, and this is the normal one. I think this is the Pinklite one. Okay, and then I'm going to go in with foundation. So for foundation, I'm just going to use the Iconic London Pigment Foundation Stick. So mine is in the shade 3, and yeah, it's quite a good skin match, and I've been quite liking this just because it's quick and easy to use, and yeah, it doesn't take long. It's good for the mornings, it blends out well. And then I'm just blending that in with my beauty blender. So this one isn't actually a beauty blender, it's the New Beauty Pie blending sponges. So they come in a pack of 2, super affordable. And yeah, I've been kind of using it, testing it out so I can compare it to the original beauty blender, because obviously the original beauty blender is great, but I go through mine quite quickly, and they can be quite pricey when you're only you're having to re-buy a new one every few weeks or so. So yeah, I've been testing these out, especially because they come as a pack of 2. Link my haul down below that I did. I did like a big beauty pie haul, so I'll link that down below. Okay, so that's foundation done. So now I'm just going to go in with concealer. So I'm going to use the Collection Lasting Perfection concealer. I used to be obsessed with this, and then I stopped using it for a while, and I bought one again the other day, and I've just kind of been using it again just for like everyday use. I think it is a good concealer. I do really like it. But I think maybe there's just some other concealers that I prefer the shade of on me. I'm not sure if this one's a little bit kind of orangey. But it's just good for everyday use. But yeah, if I was kind of doing like a heavier coverage base, then I would probably opt for a different concealer that's kind of more brightening and a bit more yellowy. Okay, so then I'm just going to go on to powder. So for powder, I've got the MAC Mineralise Skinfinish Natural Powder, and this is in the shade medium. Now, I'm not actually sure if they still do this. I think they probably do, but they might have changed like the formula or something. But I bought this ages ago, and it used to be like my favourite powder. And then I think I lost it or something, and then I found it a few weeks ago, and I've been reaching for it a lot because it actually gives you a bit more coverage. So if you kind of got a bit of redness, it takes the shine away, but it also gives you more coverage, which is good, and it kind of helps to give you that flawless base. I should probably get a new one, but this seems to be working alright. So okay, so I'm just going to do my brows quickly. I would usually do them kind of after all my face makeup, but because I want to compare the others, I'm just going to do them first. So I'm just using the L'Oreal Brow Artist Micro Tattoo pen. This is really good. It does them really quick and easily, and it's a really good shade match too, so you can create a really natural brow with this one. I'm just going to brush them through with my brow brush. I'm going with my Wet n Wild Mega Clear Brow and Lash Mascara. This is so cheap, and it is honestly one of the best brow mascaras I've ever used. My brows are quite unruly and don't stay in place, but with this they literally don't budge, and I love a clear brow gel to just pop over a product. So now brows, base, all of that is done. I'm going to go in with the palettes. So basically I'm going to do this side Charlotte Tilbury and this side Beauty Pie. So these are the two palettes. I think this one's just a little bit smaller, so this is the box. So the packaging of this is a little bit smaller, and also the pan size of the Beauty Pie one is slightly smaller. But yeah, so these are the two. So this is Charlotte Tilbury and this is Beauty Pie. So they both have a bronzer, a highlighter, 2 blushes and 3 eyeshadow shades. So yeah, basically I'm gonna use the two and test them out. So I'm gonna go in as I always with my makeup routine. So I'm gonna go in with bronzer first. So I'm going to use the Beauty Pie one first. So this is the bronzer, the big one. So I'm just gonna take that. Now I'm not sure how pigmented this is, so I'm hoping I'm going to have the right amount of product. So with my bronzer I always kind of do like forehead, cheek, under the cheekbone and jaw. So kind of like I use my bronzer to contour when I want like a more natural contour. So just going to use this like I would my usual bronzer. Take a bit more. Okay, so this isn't too, it's pigmented but it isn't too red or orangey. That's what I always worry about with new bronzers, is that they're going to be just too much and just make you look orange. But this is, yeah, it's not orange, it's not reddy, it's just like a bronzy base. Yeah, it's giving good definition to the face. So obviously that's with it, that's without it. So yeah, you can see it's defined my forehead more and my cheekbone, and it blends really well, sits nicely on top of foundation. So yeah, that's that one. So I'm going to go in with the Charlotte Tilbury one. Now I will link below the Charlotte Tilbury kind of first impressions makeup tutorial that I did. When I first used this I went in way too heavy and used too much product, and it was quite orange, so I had to really blend it out. But I personally love this palette. It's so easy to take with you. It's got everything in there you would need, and all the products work beautifully together. So I know that I love this palette. So yeah, but I just thought I needed to compare it to that one. So again, I'm just going to take this big bronzer and see the comparison. Okay, so that is the 2 bronzers done. So personally, on the bronzers front, I don't think there's that much difference. I mean, they've both framed my face well, like they've both defined my features more than without. They both blend well. I'm going to go on to eyes. So again, I'm going to start with the Beauty Pie side. So they both have a light shadow, and then they have 2 darker shadows. So I'm going to go in with the I'm going to go in with the darker ones in the crease, and then the lighter one as like a pop of highlight on the eye. So for the Beauty Pie one, I'm going to start off with, I'm going to mix these 2 and put them in the crease. This one is slightly shimmery, but I'm just going to mix them and see how it goes, because I want to compare it to the other one. So let's see how it works. It's just going to be like a simple kind of messy eye look, but there you go. Okay, so I mean, this is building up well. I know for a fact that the Charlotte Tilbury eye shadows literally are so pigmented, they don't really need building up, and they just kind of are there straight away. But I think sometimes, I mean, it depends what you want. Like for a natural look, obviously you want a product that's you're gonna have to build up, and you kind of, it's not just bam straight away. Like you want a more natural look, sometimes you want a lighter eyeshadow. But obviously if you're going out, or you just want a heavier makeup look or a pop on your eyes, then you do want a lot of pigment. Yeah, I think, let me put the highlighter one in the middle. So I'm going to go for this really bright one and pop that in the middle. Okay, so this one's more pigmented. The only thing, be careful if you use this palette, because like I've just took this and it's gone into the bronzer. You can blow it out, but just make sure you do blow it out and don't just close the lid and then it all mixes together. Yeah, so that one's quite pigmented, but it just depends kind of what eye look you want. I mean, that's a very basic one. And this is kind of like, this highlighter is kind of like a pinky. Do you know what? This highlighter is actually matte. Hasn't actually got any shimmer to it. That's the only thing that confuses me a bit about this, is the 2 darker ones. This one's matte and this one's really shimmery, and then the highlight, which I would personally say this is a highlight shade, is matte. Which is fine. Like some people do like a matte highlighter, but personally, if I'm doing a pop on the middle, I quite like a bit of shimmer to it. And with the Charlotte Tilbury ones, the highlight is shimmery, but then also the other 2 are just have like a slight shimmer but are matte enough to use in the crease, if I'm making any sense. So yeah, that's the only thing I'd say. I'm not sure how much I'd reach for this colour here, this shade, just because I'm not really sure what to do with it. Like I personally wouldn't use that in the crease, it's way too light. But yeah, it's not really popped enough for a highlight on the lid for me. But it'd be good for like an everyday, like if you just want a natural eye. But yeah, and the other thing is, you could personally, with my, when I'm doing an everyday eye look, I like to use my bronzer in my crease. So this bronzer would be really good because it is really pigmented, and yeah, it's a nice shade, so that would be good to use as the crease, and then you could always use that highlight on the lid. So yeah, there's always a way around it, but that is all I would say. So now I'm just going to go on to the Charlotte Tilbury one. So I'm just going to mix these two dark ones together. As I say, I know that these are super pigmented, so I love this, the 3 shades in this palette, this Charlotte Tilbury palette. Like literally, they can take you from day to night. You can just like kind of taper it to how you want it. So yeah, it does look really kind of natural, but it's also quite different to other palettes that I've seen that give you a smoky eye. It's just got like a kind of midnighty grey vibe, which I really like. So yeah, it doesn't take, I mean, it doesn't take that much blending with this one. Yeah, it's just super pigmented and quick and easy. So then I'm just going to go with this highlight shade on the lid, which again I know is a gorgeous highlight shade, but again it is quite subtle, but you can build it up to how you wish. Okay, so personally for the eyes, the Charlotte Tilbury palette does have the edge, just because the eyeshadows are so pigmented. They blend really, really beautifully, and I just love like the grey kind of smoky look it gives. The eyeshadows in the Beauty Pie one, they do still give an effect. I mean, as you can see, like it's not that different, the effects, the look. And this one's just slightly more kind of browny, this one's a bit more grey and a bit more smoky, and obviously the highlighter pops more and is more shimmery on this one. But the Beauty Pie one, for the money, you can work with them and create a similar look. So yeah, I think it's totally your preference. And I'm just going to go in with blush. So for the Beauty Pie one, we have, the blushes are really similar on the two palettes. So for the Beauty Pie one, we got these two. So I'm just going to take both of them. Again, it's kind of leaking into that one, so just make sure you blow it. But yeah, so I'm going to start with the Beauty Pie one. Okay, that's really pigmented actually. Yeah, it's really pigmented, right? It's quite bright. If you mix the two, I'm gonna just blend it in because I always do that with my blusher. Yeah, it's quite bright if you mix the two, but I do like it. I think this one on its own will be quite bright, but this, if you mix it with this one, it dulls it down a little bit, makes it look more natural. So yeah, they were really pigmented. You didn't need a lot at all. I personally don't like a lot of blush. And then I'm just going to take the two on the Charlotte Tilbury palette. One's a swish and one's a pop shade. So the idea is that you mix them to create the kind of cheek and blush look that you desire. So the thing that I love about the Charlotte Tilbury blushes is they have like a glow to them. So they give your skin like a really gorgeous glow and kind of look like you're fresh off the beach. And fresh off holiday, which is always good. So yeah, with the blushes, there's not the obvious differences I would say with the blushes is that the Charlotte Tilbury one is slightly more glowy, and doesn't need as much kind of blending, and the Beauty Pie one is definitely brighter. It's, I would say, slightly more pigmented actually, because I do find the Charlotte Tilbury blushes, I love them, but I do build them up, because sometimes you do like one application and you don't really notice as much difference. But the Beauty Pie one, it was one swipe and it was there straight away. I mean, you can even see now, like, the Beauty Pie one is probably standing out more than the Charlotte Tilbury one. The Beauty Pie ones are definitely more matte than the Charlotte Tilbury ones. I do like a slight shimmer to my blush. Just depends if you like a slight shimmer or a matte blush. I'm going to go in with highlighter. So for me, this is going to be the big kind of giveaway, because I'm very fussy with my highlighters. Go with the Beauty Pie one first. So this is this big one here. So I'm just going to use this fan brush and just dip it in to the highlighter. And then just apply it to my cheekbone. And see. And then the other side, with the other side of the brush, I'm just going to apply this Charlotte Tilbury one and see the difference. Okay, so I'm just going to look in the mirror close up and compare the two. So, personally, for me, the Charlotte Tilbury one is more of an obvious highlight. It's a lot more glowy and you can kind of see that there is kind of a glow there and a highlight. The Beauty Pie one, I would say, is a lot more subtle. I'm going to apply a bit more. I think this is one of those that you really need to build up to see a difference. Yeah, I mean, it is highlighting, but it depends. This is all personal preference. For me, I love a pop of highlight. I love like a really pigmented poppy highlight. But a lot of people prefer a natural highlight and prefer a natural glow. So if you prefer a natural glow and one that you kind of build up gradually, then the Beauty Pie one will be perfect. If you prefer one that you have a pop straight away, the Charlotte Tilbury one does, and it's a beautiful highlighter. It's lovely and golden. But yeah, I feel like the Charlotte Tilbury one blends into skin straight away, blends into the blusher, blends into the other products beautifully. I feel like the Beauty Pie one is a little hard to, I feel like it doesn't maybe sit as well on the skin. I feel like it needs a bit more blending and doesn't blend as well into the other products. I'm just going to apply some mascara and then just do my lipstick, and then we can see like the finished look and how the two look compared to each other. So this is just a MAC mascara I'm using. This is the Upward Lash Black Mascara. And I love the brush on this. It's really tiny, but it's good at getting every lash. I'm just going to apply some lipstick. So I've just got the Rimmel London 1000 Kisses Stay On Lip Contouring Pencil, and this is in the shade Cappuccino. And then I've just got the Rimmel London lipstick in the shade Boho Nude. Okay, and then I'm just going to go in with my MAC Fix Plus and just spray all over my face. Okay, and then we are done. So I'm just going to like have a recap of the two. I've got my mirror here to look in as well. So personally, bronzer wise, I really don't think there's that much difference between the two. They both define my face well. They're both similar shades. I think neither of them are reddy or orangey. They're both nice bronzy shades. And yeah, I was really happy with the bronzers. Eyeshadows, I think that it completely depends what look you want to go for. I would definitely use the Beauty Pie ones if I wanted a natural everyday look. I don't have a problem with the eyeshadows. I think they are still pigmented, they just need building up. And I think the shades are actually slightly different. I don't feel that they're that similar, the shades, to be honest. I think the Beauty Pie one's a lot browner and kind of has warm orangey tones. I think the Charlotte Tilbury one has cooler tones and is more grey and shimmery, whereas the Beauty Pie one is definitely more matte. So yeah, I personally don't feel that they're that similar in shades. But I think that they both do the job. It just depends if you want a natural look or a more smokier look. The blushes, again, I think the Beauty Pie one, the Beauty Pie one, the blush is definitely brighter, but it's matte, and the Charlotte Tilbury one is glowier and kind of more shimmery and has a bit of shimmer to it. But yeah, the colours aren't that different. I just think the Beauty Pie one's brighter. I mean, you can see now it definitely stands out more. But yeah, like I said, the Charlotte Tilbury ones you can always build up. And then, so I think, yeah, I've got nothing bad to say about the blusher. The only one I would maybe say is the highlighter. For me, there's an obvious difference. The Charlotte Tilbury one, I just adore. I adore her highlighters. I adore her products in general. She just has the qualities and the things that you're looking for in highlighters, and I think they always sit beautifully on the skin and blend really well. The Beauty Pie one, again, for the price difference, it still highlights that feature, and it's just more subtle. So it just depends if you're going to want a more subtle highlight and you're happy to build it up, or you just want to pop straight away. I just feel like, yeah, the highlighter for me would be the only difference. I feel like the Charlotte one is a lot more finely, kind of shimmery, highlighted grains, whereas the Beauty Pie one is a bit more blocky, if that makes sense. Like, you need to blend it a bit more. So I've always loved Charlotte Tilbury, always have, always will. I'm a massive, massive fan. But Beauty Pie is a brand for me that I've recently been loving and loving more and more, and a lot of my skincare now is all becoming Beauty Pie, and I am literally going crazy for it, and a lot of people are, and I'm a massive fan of their skincare. Like, honestly, it's unreal. I can't explain enough. I'm doing a review in a week or so of the products I've been trying, and I've found some real winners in there that have made a massive difference to my skin. So I wanted to try their makeup out, and there's some other bits that I have been trying and love. So I'm going to do a whole Beauty Pie makeup routine in a few weeks time. And yeah, when I saw this was compared to the very similar to the Charlotte Tilbury one, I had to try it, and it hasn't let me down. I'm super happy with it. I think the price, especially if you're a member, is amazing. Like, it's 100% worth it. And yeah, I just think maybe this is more of a natural, like, it's just more of a kind, especially the eyes and the highlight, it's just more of a natural one. Maybe it's just not as pigmented, but then saying that, the blusher and bronzer are super pigmented. So yeah, it's just how you work with it. Like with all products, it's how you work with it, it's how you apply it, personal preference of how you want it to look. But yeah, this is totally worth the money. I mean, you get bronzer, highlight, blush and eyes in here. And yeah, the packaging's really lovely. I just wanted to do this video and compare the two because I love watching videos like this, and when I saw them, I'm such a big fan of the Charlotte Tilbury, and I was like, oh, I need to buy it and I need to do a video on this. That's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed watching. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and please subscribe. I will link my blog and my Instagram and all of that down below. I've just done a whole new blog website of gottoglowbeauty.com, so I'm super happy that it's now gone live. And yeah, I've done like a whole revamp. I've made it a lot more visual, and I'm going to be uploading to there weekly, so I would love for you to check it out. And also my Instagram, I feature a lot of products on there that I'm loving. Check me out on there if you are interested and you want to see more from me. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye.